YouTube! Hello again. I am Bostes Sueños. Tonight I am starting a new show that is R-rated. That means if you are under a certain age, leave now. Leave now. If you are still here, you consent not to sue me, and you agree that your sense of humor is weird like ours is. We are starting a show that I call Flash Fiction. Essentially, we have a bunch of really strange ideas in this hat that cut up earlier, and we're just going to tell random stories around a circle.
I'm just being my drink this time.
Thank you.
I'm not going to mess up your recording again.
I actually deleted that one, so the licking is gone.
Well then.
No!
Yay!
Quit it. Alright. Where did Adam go? Yes, we have started recording.
Oh.
Would you like to show the people of YouTube how this works as we wait for the others to get in here? No. Like I said, R-rated. Sorry, guys.
How does this work? Well, it's a hat, so you put it on your head.
Wrong.
No.
No, you pick ideas out.
I pick ideas out?
Yes.
What? It's like a head that you pick ideas from.
I think you'll need to pick my brain.
Ah, you're stupid.
Yeah, well, it was your fault.
It was my fault. I walked into that one. I like this one.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna keep that one.
Oh, you're keeping that one for later? All right.
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of ideas in this hat, and very shortly we will hopefully be getting other people. I sort of really hoped you'd be the one to draw that. I just didn't think it would be first.
Some props.
No, you should not do that.
What's the story idea?
The first one that she picked was 3D printing a dildo.
Okay.
But I think that we might need more than just that.
There's so many people. Oh.
There are.
There's one more somewhere.
A pink Volkswagen bus.
And 3D printing a dildo. Those seem to go together, oddly.
I got it. Breaking Sexy. A high school teacher buys a 3D printer and prints dildos in a pink Volkswagen bus as he travels
It's a
across the
Breaking
land.
Bad sort of thing. I see what you're doing
Or he
there.
sells them out of his pink Volkswagen.
Why do you get
bus.
the only chair?
I get the only chair because there is no good reason.
But to make it not be creepy, let's have it be a female teacher.
Yes, that would be kind of creepy.
There you go, Adam. I got one for you.
Ladies and gentlemen dressed in red fishnets.
That's who the teacher sells the dildos to.
So is it just like a large
Yeah, just-
group?
Pick out whatever ideas you want and just start making stories up. That's all we're going to do.
Oh, so we're already starting then?
We are already starting.
Oh,
I
so this is
just
it?
laid down a
This is
rich
it.
idea.
This is it? This is what we're doing?
Yo,
I need more ideas then.
thankfully, there are a lot.
Take this one.
You mean to say Ponsky scheme?
No,
Well,
actually.
It's a Pomsky scheme.
It's a type of dog.
No.
Don't get it. It's a Pomsky scheme.
What's a Pomsky?
Adam, look at what I've got
That
together.
doesn't feel like it would work.
So two of the ones that I have right now are plutonium-powered porn pros and the box of sadness, which go together very well because I assume that you are going to end up in a box of sadness as you are dealing with these plutonium-powered porn pros. There's probably a lead box involved and maybe a Schrodinger equation. I'm not really sure. But all I know is that if it's measured, you're either alive or dead, but not both.
I have ladies and gentlemen dressed in red fishnets, electric monkeys, and runaway trains.
I'm probably going to do the same.
Runaway trains, electric monkeys, and what was the other one?
Ladies and gentlemen dressed in red fishnets.
That seems appropriate.
You took my drink.
No, I took my drink.
No, mine was the less full one.
Oh, okay.
They're both blue. They're both
Like
the same
that
thing.
thing.
You can both drink the same thing.
No, I don't want his cooties.
Blah.
Oh, you get his cooties every day.
Said the
Her
person
day.
who, if you had
Would
to
you
delay
like
a
some
recording
story
because I was
ideas?
licking you.
I want to listen first.
Okay.
Then I will join.
I do want one more.
Here.
Except for one of Pomsky's.
Cora, stop being a slut cat. Get
Pandemonium.
over here.
Like I said, that is one of these. One of these has something to do with slutty cat girls or something.
Oh, furries.
Pandemonium.
Ooh, I think I found a good one. I got 2 here.
Blue pumpkins.
Oh, that's
Oh,
upsetting.
I want one.
So, in the sudden death of everything you've ever loved as you have just become immortal, the only solace that you will ever find is in sensual sketches of aquatic life. Because obviously, if everything that you have ever loved leaves you and you are forced to live through eternity, the only thing that's going to console you is to drop all of the things that you used to love, like sentient beings and time travel, and just start loving pictures of fish with panties.
Dirty, dirty salmon.
Oh, dirty salmon, why? Oh, we saw a house on the way home that was dirty salmon colored, and it was... Right! It sounds like a bad disease.
I know, right? Doesn't that
The
sound
dirty
gross?
salmon
though?
disorder.
Okay, so I've told 2 stories.
I feel like the stories need to be a bit longer.
Right.
I know. I'm trying to get this
I
started.
think we're doing too many at one time, like giving out too many things.
Alright.
Because I don't know, there's so much going on.
It started off so simply.
I think we should have said this
A
as the
pink
trial run
Volkswagen
for what
bus.
the show is going to be.
This
Oh,
is-
man.
By the way, people, in the internet land, this is the trial run for this show. I asked people for ideas, but this is proof of concept. This is what we're trying to do.
Indeed,
Send us
internet
ideas for
land.
weird stories, and we will just make stuff up.
Hopefully we'll be slightly more
Got the cat that
organized.
loves you more
It
than
started so simply. A pink
Yeah.
Volkswagen bus.
It's not a land.
A
It's
plan.
a series of tubes.
To con a man out of a lot of money.
me.
Involving
The
a
internet
very
doesn't
small,
weigh
adorable
anything,
dog.
Jen.
It started so simply. We don't know how it got
Oh.
so out of hand.
It's live.
How we
Ladies
ended up
and
turning the
gentlemen,
entire central
I
banking
bring
system
you-
on its head.
The internet.
Well, lies.
But with us, it gave
It's
us
wireless.
pandemonium.
Oh, please.
Now, what
Not
would be a
success.
great story,
It's
especially
the
filling in
It
those
is
blanks.
Oh, no,
Gosh.
no flash photography.
I just teased.
The internet doesn't weigh
Oh,
anything, Jen.
Teased.
Connor's over there trying to tell a
Well, if
story.
it's okay
I
with
got
the
nothing.
Hulk.
I mean, I got the general outline, but that was it.
Okay.
I can't fill in the blanks. I don't know. Con a guy out of money using a Pomsky. I've seen them; they're adorable, but I'm not sure how you're gonna weaponize
Okay,
that.
well, obviously...
He uses a. He's still got the.
No. It's like a Ponzi scheme, so it's a pyramid scheme, but it involves small dogs. Obviously, the small dogs use their cuteness to their own advantage,
I was just saying, to lure them to,
Right.
to the pink van, the bus.
which
Yeah.
allows them
For
to have...
pandemonium. And didn't you have dildos?
I did not. She had dildos.
She had 3D
She
printing
had-
I had
dildos.
dildos. Well, I technically
Dildora and
3. I could
Slutterus.
go grab them if you want.
I don't. Nope.
Nope.
I'm here to mess
Nope.
things
Or
up.
more like, not enough information.
Ah.
And am I?
You just want to know more, don't you?
No.
Always.
Well, not now.
Oh my.
Let's wait till after the show, though.
It's me that's
Unless
Rainbow
you want to
Dash.
unless you want to make that a story.
Its name isn't Rainbow Dash.
Hamish.
You don't know that.
Need more ideas?
Someone just go grab 3
Totally
and just
food or
try to
shy.
construct something out of it.
Alright,
I love food or
that's what I've been trying to do.
Alright, so using your powers for evil, a Starbucks at the end of the universe, and a banana in a tunic.
I'm glad somebody drew that
I
one.
feel like that's like an innuendo for just a condom-covered cock.
Fair. I mean, you do what you want to do with this.
The cack.
But how would you use your how would you use that power for evil, huh? Especially at a Starbucks of all things.
At the end of the universe.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna write something.
Okay, you write
And
something.
then I can actually turn that into something.
What you got, Adam?
I'm trying to think of how to word all this.
BRB.
Much like him, it's easier if I can write it down.
Which
Say it.
one? One where
Let's see.
That's me, putting all of you on the spot immediately.
Yeah.
With no preparation and no script.
Yeah. Okay, so
What a dick.
Exactly.
in a time, kind of in the future, not so far. No, it's okay. You put me on the spot.
Our companions.
Spot is being had
Companion boobs.
They're so soft.
No, they're supple.
Oh yeah.
The shit we do.
We probably should have recorded a couple episodes before we invited a bunch of other people to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
I hate to tell you, they're a little lopsided.
That's right.
That's okay. Every girl's are.
There we go.
You know what I mean.
So I've got suspicious dead bodies, chimney sweeps and Hawaiian shirts, and I've done all I can do. So obviously there was a chimney sweep doctor, but the doctor didn't want to practice during normal business hours because chimney sweeps are poor and dirty.
Sure, they're lovely.
So the only way that he could practice was to dress up as a chimney sweep. But unfortunately, Hawaiian shirts are not something the chimney sweeps usually use, and he was mistaken because he was a rich doctor who golfed a lot. But obviously, he managed to kill a couple of these chimney sweeps while growing his private practice, thus leading to the suspicious dead bodies. He tried to save them, but one day he just had to say, I've done all I can do. I like how everyone just sort of wandered off as I tried to give an example of what we were doing.
Oh, Connor wandered off to do something. Probably.
Connor wandered off to actually try to write a story.
I can't try to write a story on this phone. I don't have enough room for my gigantic handwriting.
Fair enough.
All right, handmade three.
Let's see.
Alright.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. Okay.
It's gotta be like Chicken Joe. I should have put that in here.
Yeah, Chicken Joe should be in there.
Get a good one from the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, they told me I was
Okay, so one. So sometime in the near future, but not too distant future, just maybe like 6 months from now. There's runaway trains going all over the country, filled with these electric monkeys that scientists are using. There's these genetically engineered electric monkeys that scientists are using in their laboratories. Everyone's talking.
I think the nipple
throwing things at me.
Y'all are
We're
loud!
talking about boobs. I'm sorry.
So if it
This episode's not, no one's gonna be able to understand anything.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He did say rated R,
Yeah,
guys.
and it's
Nick.
opera.
Have you ever seen that show or that game? It's like the fish game where you talk to the fish. I imagine something like that. Where
What?
What's that game called, Adam?
What?
The one with the guy who's also a fish. And you
Seaman.
talk to- Seaman,
Oh,
yeah.
that game is weird.
We're talking about every girl having third boob in her cleavage, and it just comes out and has a face like Seaman and just talks like him.
I
Whoa!
said that it should sing opera.
It should sing opera. You're right.
See, this is what Scenarios is all about. Why you two should be over here?
Well, you keep
Right.
shoving us out of the way. I'm sorry.
Because there's cross chatter. Nobody's able to actually tell a story.
Well, the three I drew were actually pulling off all your taxes off. It definitely, and only had 91 cats at once.
I think you got a pretty good one there.
Really?
I didn't really know Action Bastard was a cat lady, but okay.
He is old cat lady. 91 cats.
Just like this, from what I understand, there's this woman that goes to Ohio State basketball games, and they nickname her Cat Fancy. She's an old cat lady that goes there and crochets while they're playing basketball.
Please tell me she brings her cats with her.
No.
All of them.
No.
In like a bowling bag.
Every cat.
It's just like
ever.
18 cats poking out, just like,
Ow! Ow! Better than her bringing all of them in carrying cases and just taking up an entire row.
Taking up an
Just
entire
yeah,
section
cats
for
don't
cats.
miss
That would suck.
There you go. They would probably be so mad if they missed the game.
You have no
Or if she buys
idea.
them like corn dogs and popcorn when they come down the aisle.
so you got an idea for yours yet?
I'm thinking.
I think the cats should get super anxious whenever they don't miss one, whenever they miss a game,
Yeah.
and then they start just vomiting here.
Though I do like the idea
There
of
we go.
Action Bastard paying off all my taxes at once.
There you go. Give
That
an
way I could-
IRS
oh.
mistake.
Yeah, it could be an IRS mistake where that way I could buy 91 cats and just dump them throughout the neighborhood to piss people off.
Don't neuter any of them.
Do not, no spaying, no neutering. Cats everywhere.
Oh no.
Fucking like
army.
rabbits.
You get like an abandoned house to have them live in.
There's like one down at the end of the street of my neighborhood. We could do that.
Just release 91 cats in the middle of your
Just
neighborhood.
make it a cat house instead of a crack house.
There you go. Rated R, folks.
cat house has a bunch of catnip in it.
We have a lot of that in the house for our 2 cats. Well, my brother's 2 cats.
Hello, Internet. Okay, so what you got?
That was my idea.
I like it.
I actually bastard paying off all my taxes in an IRS mistake so that I could buy 91 cats. I'd home them. I'd get them all dewormed and all that fun stuff.
Oh boy, I have. Okay.
So I wouldn't spay and neuter them. I'd just release them into the neighborhood to fuck with everybody.
I'm gonna have to think on this for a minute because I got horny sea goats, moon lasers, and ineffective first aid kits.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that could be so beautiful. That could be the most beautiful story of all time.
Do you have ideas? You could come tell a story for us.
No.
I'm gonna grab 3 more out of there so I can be nasty about this.
Okay.
You said sea goats?
Horny sea goats, moon lasers, and ineffective first aid kits.
I'm totally
I
reaching into his
feel
lap.
like
Sorry.
these horny sea goats finally professed their education, and then
You guys didn't see
they
what
were
I did.
suddenly caught in their
Oh!
passion by a rampaging,
No,
a giant herd of sea cows with laser beams attached to their head,
Sea cows with laser beams attached to their head.
and it sliced his lover in half, which he could have easily saved her had it not be for the ineffective medkit.
No, that's an important question.
That's
Are
phenomenal.
these cows
I like that.
fantasies,
I've
or
already
are
got a
they
decent
cows
one
that have
online.
floaties?
Funny.
Okay.
It's
I drew
actually-
Castile.
No,
Castiel.
it's
Castiel.
Castiel.
From
Yes,
Supernatural.
cows with
I read it
Very
German.
good.
I like it.
And
Cows
that's-
with floaties. Can someone
Castiel,
tell us
flirtatious
that?
medical
Yeah,
professionals,
between them.
and vodka with Vladimir Putin.
Oh boy.
But in this
Now,
society, don't we want to
I saw medical professionals, and I'm deathly afraid of them. So I thought I would switch it around a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know Castiel. I've never watched Supernatural. I'm sorry. Don't hate me.
He has no understanding of what human beings are actually like, and is very confused by normal social interactions.
Okay. So
Oh, okay, I see.
Castiel and I would have vodka with Putin, which would put me at ease and help him figure things out a little bit, so that the flirtatious medical professionals just wouldn't kill us.
I see. So I'm thinking that there's some sort of like KGB experiment, and this is before he actually rose to prominence.
Rose to be
So-
president.
Right, and you and Castiel were just chilling in the middle of Russia, and you found Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, like we went to Novosibirsk or somewhere
Right.
out in the woods, out in space.
Yeah, y'all just had a couple of drinks, and you convinced him that he needed to turn his life around. Which obviously was a mistake for the rest of the world.
Yeah, Georgia, Ukraine, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna disappear soon.
Yeah.
Really quick.
Putin and the KGB are going to come back and haunt me, and, well...
Do you like them? They're haunted.
Did you go? Okay.
Oh, do you have a story for us?
I do. Well, I have a short snippet.
All right.
I'm really good at doing outlines. I guess
I like
I'm too
this.
good at doing
Okay.
short stories. All right. I looked at the barista,
Good job.
an attractive
That's exactly
gal
what I did.
from the 6th moon of Tartarus. If she could read minds, she would be throwing me out immediately. As I slid the credits card towards her, a flash of silver foil was visible underneath. She raised her eyebrows in surprise, but took both card and condom.
Please don't cast it.
That's
She
a
mouthed,
Please
"Bathroom."
don't.
As I took my overpriced latte, I grinned. My overpriced space latte. I knew I was reading something. My mission to sow my oats across the universe was going very well. She didn't even know my ability. That of being able to phase my dick through anything.
Oh,
Jilly is full of all the clowns.
I'm so glad to have you all here for this.
Right?
Let's make this first episode a smashing success once we got over the awkwardness.
I gotta make 3 more.
You can take as many or as few as you
I'm
want.
taking 3.
Oh, you dick, you took the good one.
Oh, there's plenty of good
Well,
ones.
he took Space Dandy.
I got Space Dandy,
Bastard.
slutty cat girls, and destroying an advanced civilization of germs.
That actually, that
is-
sounds like an
good
episode.
episode.
That is an episode.
Writers of Space Dandy in Japan, translate this video and make this an episode in season 2.
The problem I have is this is too good, so if anyone else wants to take that, I can't, I have to work with something bad.
People who are new to Space Dandy, do you want to take this and make an episode out of it?
So,
No?
No takers, I don't think. That's a good episode, though.
I know.
I'd watch the hell out of that
I would.
episode.
Alright, so obviously,
Eat him and find out.
in his hunt for alien life, Space Dandy has gone to many places before. One of the few places he tries not to visit, as you learned from the zombie episode, is any place with medical professionals like hospitals and doctors' offices.
Especially if they're flirtatious.
Absolutely. So Dandy doesn't think much, obviously from his sort of surfer-like outlook, about the general makeup of the universe on any level other than his own. So he doesn't think about the galaxies. He also doesn't think about the little tiny stuff. So he goes to this barren wasteland in search of some snake lizard monster with 3 faces and a chain around his neck. I don't know. And
I want to hear that.
there's nothing there on this planet, but he and Meow and QT are wandering around, and they manage to walk through this cloud of sort of debris. And in doing so, they could have discovered a new species. Meal ticket would have been like 50 million yen. That would have taken care of all of their travel bills for months, and they could have gone to vacation on Ryza. But they didn't, because they murdered that entire advanced civilization of germs. Their only weakness, they were just too small. I missed the slutty cat girl, so obviously he goes to boobies at the end. And
Well, yeah, that's
Honey's not working that day, so
no,
takes off with the cat girls, I guess.
no, but some anthro cat girl is, and well, tail
Like these
lever,
two.
yeah, like that. These two, you can't see them unless they like randomly appear. That's Adam. They're creepy.
Alright. You got a story for us?
Yep, yes,
I'm saying
kind
next
of, maybe.
later, boss.
Okay, so my things were Ladies and Gentlemen in Red Fishnets, Electric Monkeys, and Runaway Trains.
Monkey sounds like a band.
Like Alabaster Flux
Yeah.
Capacitor. That is the future right there.
Also coming back from the dead. I grabbed that one late.
Ah, nice.
Okay,
How much?
so one day in the distant future, like 6 months from now, scientists are using runaway trains to smuggle genetically engineered electric monkeys crafted from years of secret monkey-like electric experiments across state lines. Upon arrival at the super secret, but not so secret because nothing is secret because internet base, the electric monkeys are used to power large machinery to bring famous celebrities back from the dead. And by power large machinery, use their electricity to hump them back to life.
Okay.
But before they can use it on celebrities, because, this is such a high-profile operation for them to do,
Right.
they're just going to use it on neighboring townfolk. Because, fuck them. But to the surprise of all the scientists, all the townfolk men and women that they electrocuted back to life transformed into horrible creatures wearing red fishnets, which, as it turns out, was not as sexy as it sounds.
I really hope you get the Justin Timberlake one.
Okay, so I grabbed 3 more before I finished.
Okay.
I'm going to use these for my next one. Radioactive butterflies, child leashes and acid baths, and
Nice.
and scented candles. So
They
there's
they
them.
mask the
Wow,
scent
yeah,
of the flesh burning in the acid.
One of the things in here is just oh my.
Oh my. Sorry, Mr. Takei, if I don't do it justice.
I think you overestimate the size of my audience and the fact that George Takei does not watch my show.
No, but
that would be
putting
epic.
that out there.
That would
Oh
be
my
awesome.
god, that'd be so
Ah!
It's Skrillex Shy.
Skrillex Shy.
Shut up, guys. My music's amazing.
Yeah. A couple songs are
The
good.
MacBook is an instrument.
The MacBook is an instrument
Of destruction.
I'm sorry, Mom. Are you getting scared?
of profit.
Well, that too.
The
Are you
MacBook
on
is an
music?
instrument of profit.
Step 1.
Why do you think I said it was an instrument of destruction? It
Like,
destroys your wallet.
There's not nearly enough drinks in there.
No. Which
Oh,
means
you have a cat.
Connie needs to get back to
Look
work.
at this cat I have.
half.
Connor is working on stories.
I can
Oh,
make
she
you a
is
drink.
so in heaven right now.
I don't know if I trust you to make
Oh,
me
that is a
drink.
happy
I
cat
won't
face.
touch anything with
I'm
cream in
wrong.
it.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
mine.
Anyways,
oh, she is a happy
so what you got
cat.
for us?
I got fiery
Oh, yeah.
stones, catching the crazy, and mysteriously vanishing in a puff of sulfur.
You just keep getting ones related to demons, I guess. Oh boy.
Can't.
Oh no.
I know I'm going to hell.
Oh
so
no.
It's okay. What'd you get?
I got President George W. Bush, Everything is a Hipster, and an after-school special about the homosexual Third Reich. Give me a few minutes for that one.
What are you doing?
That sounds like a crazy.
Where President Bush and their Fuhrer are butt buddies.
There you go. I mean, we were talking about Himmler earlier.
Heinrich Himmler, yeah.
Yeah.
Reichsführer SS, they supposed he was gay.
Well, yeah, and Robin Williams commented on that with the dancing und the leather. I thought it was very obvious. Oh. But how do you work in the hipster and the after-school special part? I mean, obviously,
And if they're doing something in the after school special, all you gotta do is throw a hipster kid in there.
right. Well, okay, but there's other ways to do it too, like, because the first person to do anything is technically a hipster, especially if they're proud of it, right?
Right.
So, Hitler was before Oscar Wilde. So, clearly, Hitler is the hipster in this case.
True story.
And I'm going to guess it's like Hitler and Himmler, right? So
Yeah.
you've got Hitler and Himmler dancing around in these funny uniforms with a lot of leather, and
Nathan Lane plays Hitler.
Nathan Lane could play Hitler. I would watch that movie. Especially if there was singing involved, which, given that it's the homosexual Third Reich, we should probably
Nathan
expect
Lane,
that.
You're right, yeah.
Which makes all of them hipsters. And since this is an after-school special, it's to sort of convince people away from the evils of homosexuality, George W. Bush is going to be on there talking about random stuff, looking confused and blinking a lot.
Frank Caliendo.
Why does he
Yes.
look confused?
Because George W. Bush is confused
George
by how to
W.
say nuclear, let alone anything else.
What if
Thank you.
George W. Bush was
Okay,
told
that is
it
one of
was
my
a speech
serious-
on terrorism, but it's not a speech on terrorism, so he can use his terrorism
Purse.
with
Purse.
And the way he says nuclear, which for those of you who don't know or just haven't lived in the United States, it's nuclear, which drives, well, Drew and I both crazy. Crazy enough to do that.
Yeah. I keep getting good ones, but making like super short stories.
Well, what I'm thinking with mine is the fiery scones are going to be the last thing because isn't sulfur flammable?
I don't know that it's flammable, but it does tend to be this. It's like a fire and brimstone kind of smell.
Right. Because what I'm thinking is
Sulfur
if
might be
there's,
flammable.
well, if I can't remember, I'm not a chemist.
The question
I'm a
was you
meteorologist, I'm
asked.
sorry.
Is what flammable?
Sulfur.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, sulfur's flammable.
Well, just to
Thermite.
put that out there, now that we know, I'm not a chemist, I'm a meteorologist, I'm sorry. But my thought is, if you catch the crazy, if it
Mhm.
goes on long enough, you will explode into that puff of
All
sulfur.
right. Sort
And
of
the
like
fire-
spontaneous combustion.
Like it's just a small town setting, like an
Okay.
old ancient town,
Oh yeah, I can
with the
see
fire
that.
scones all over the place. And if you catch the crazy and you go on long enough, you just
It could be like a
explode and-
schizophrenic sort of thing.
Right.
That's like the first break in schizophrenia, is you start walking around your city and it begins to look like the Aztec Empire, and as you walk by the bakery, the thing that you see out front is two like Greco-Roman pillars with firing scones on top of them, which is the obvious symbol for a bakery, I guess.
Right.
Well, I mean, Zeus should eat fire scones, I suppose. So, as you're descending into this bout of serious schizophrenia,
Mhm.
the way that it ends is when the orderlies finally catch you and drug you so that you believe you vanish in a puff of sulfur. But really, you're just being...
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
You're
so
yeah.
concerned with the stick.
You're being black bagged like in V for Vendetta and taken to a cell.
Thank you. Mwah. Thank you.
See, I'm good at coming up with the very basic ideas.
And I
other
can
people
build off of
expand.
that.
Yeah.
That was the general idea of the first version of this show, which is called Scenarios, which is basically what Adam and I used to do at Walmart when we were really, really bored. Which was every
Which
day.
was every day.
Yeah, it was a lot easier then because it was like naturally, not like, hey, here's
It's
put a
actually,
spotlight
it's
on
starting to come naturally as Nick is making the general outline, and I just kind of make a story off the outline.
it. Okay.
But I hear you
Never
have a
was a
story
writer.
for
I'm good
us.
at basic outlines, but that's
I
about it.
kind of do. I didn't actually write anything, so I'm just gonna go off this one, off my head.
He does that.
So
Oh, Berber.
what I got child leashes and acid baths, radioactive butterflies, and scented candles. So, in like the year 20XX, there's this dictator, Reginald Barksworth Smith III, you know, obviously.
I like this name.
Yeah, Smith.
Reginald
Barksworth
Parksworth Smith
the
III.
third. Yeah, it was terrible in kindergarten. I'm gonna have to spell that. But anyways, due to chronic overpopulation in the world, he has decided that he is going to kidnap every child that he can. So he gets his armies together, and they go up to every house, and they lead these kids out by leashes. And freaking just take them by force, by leashes. And as days go by, they take them to their base, where they're basically treated badly. It's essentially like a concentration camp for kids. So,
Oh, okay. I still love it. I really hope that someone gets Drauschwitz. Hitler's Academy for the Arts, Drauschwitz.
like it's a summer concentration camp for kids.
You're going to summer camp.
That seems like the only appropriate way to send children away.
This is chemistry camp. You can
Most-
make cyclovine gas.
Most kids do kind of assume that they're going to be murdered as they're sent to summer camps. So
See, I never went to summer camp. So
this is an interesting
I
experience.
went to camp during the fall when I didn't have
You want to help us make stories?
I don't have a clue. My creativity
Sorry.
is bullshit.
Stories. I know, that's why you should be good at this game.
But
No, I mean, like, I can come up with BS about nothing, but when you give me outlines, it's like,
Then just jump up here and tell a story about weird shit. That is what this show is.
so in order to combat the overpopulation, they're like, what are we gonna do with these kids? And good old Reginald, because he's a stand-up guy, he's like, let's just fucking off them. And he's like, well, we can't do it ourselves. Because, then we'd be monsters. So they have to do it themselves. And kids have to do it. If that's just an accident, shit happens.
Hunger
Kids are
Games
dumb.
summer camp.
You see? Well, no. So what they
It's
did...
like a lottery where everybody but one person wins.
And that would help control the child
Population
population.
control, and I think it's effectively eugenics at that point.
True. It is, actually, because it'd be survival of the fittest.
It's
So-
pseudo-Darwinism. It's forced Darwinism.
So they're like, well, how are we going to get these kids to just, off themselves? They're like, well, we have a whole lot of acid just in the back. I don't know what it's from, but we got it back. They're like, that's great, let's use that. How are we going to get them in there? And they're like, you know what kids love? Shit that glows. You know what else they love? Fucking butterflies. They're like, can we put these two things together? And the same guy that had the acid, he's like, I got like stuff. You just X-ray the shit out of them so they're radioactive, and it's fucking, they'll glow. Get the kids to follow. So, okay, the guys, that's a great idea. So they do that. And eventually, over several days, they lead the kids. The kids jump, go after the radioactive butterflies, and they fall in the acid, and they die. It's sad. Kind of. But, and they're like, we got all
I
these...
don't blame you.
What do you get?
He got thoughts in the middle of the human centipede. I'm with Jared on that one. I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole.
So now, like, we got all this kitty juice. What are we gonna do with that? We gotta do something. We can't just throw it in the sewer or anything, because that's fucked up.
If you say kitty juice, you mean acidically melted children, right? Are infants the young?
Yeah.
You've killed all the younglings with acid.
These are the things you gave me.
I know, these are my fault. I wrote these down.
So he's like, Reginald's gonna be like, what are we gonna do with it? And the same guy with the acid and the X-ray, because he just knows his shit. He was like, you know what? I'll just take them, we'll put them in jars and sell them as scented candles.
Okay. Fine for that.
So yeah, that's my story. I didn't even write anything down. This is the only thing I wrote down, and then I came in here.
This is gonna be really fucked up.
Yeah.
Seth, you ready yet? Yeah.
I might got one. It's gonna be.
I feel kind of like a monster.
That is the name of the game. Flash Fiction. This is why I asked my viewers to send me shit, and they didn't, so this is what they get.
Do I actually have to read these?
Although, alternatively, they may decide that they want this more. So.
Probably, yeah. It could be a.
Well, you see, because I wrote the thoughts in the middle segment of the
I know
human
you did.
centipede part, but I wrote that when we were talking about doing like that scenes from a hat thing where like, people would jump in.
True.
And I thought, because this can't really be used in the story, that could just be like someone jumps in and is like, oh, ideas.
There's a large piece of paper in my mouth now. It doesn't want to go anywhere. There we go.
We just ate paper.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel?
On camera. In front of my, 700 viewers, 65 of which actually still watch. Thank you guys, by the way.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, jeez.
This horrific tale.
Oh, you should... you're probably going to have to be a little bit louder,
Oh.
especially if you don't want to be in front of the camera.
This horrific tale takes place in Linda Conway's laboratory.
Oh God.
The year 2065. Upon making new breakthroughs in scientific technology, she was working on a new photocopying advanced life form, where she was making new organs and new devices.
So it's like a 3D printer, but for organs.
Yes.
Alright.
Brand new. She was working out all the bugs, but no matter what she did, over the last 5 years, she could not figure out why it kept coming out wrong. Organs wouldn't pump right, and other things wouldn't.
Were they made of Legos?
No.
Legos?
You know, we tried making you a new liver, Mr. Barnes, but unfortunately, all the 3D printer store had was Lego machines. So instead of using organic tissue, we just use these yellow bricks.
Well, for whatever reason, it seemed that the organic matter that she was using funneled through this. She'd have to refill it every single time. She could not understand why she'd have to refill it, and when you refill it, it would take too long to recycle the machine, and at which point the cells would die. Well, one night, she ended up leaving her iPhone, the contact lens style, inside the laboratory, so she went back for it after dinner. When she later discovered that the reason why it wasn't working right was because one of the janitors thought it was only just a 3D printer who he was printing dildos off of, which were really made out of organ matter.
Did you pull 3D printing dildos? I thought Kendra had that one. Oh, God. That was a good one, though.
You know what we need right now, though, Adam?
What's it?
A sword fight break.
Drink
Sword
fish.
fight break. This is highly safe.
So safe.
Why does this one have buckles?
Because you can strap it on your back. This one's reversed, so you're okay, but I'm...
We actually gonna...
If you want.
Oh. One of us is gonna die tonight.
And to prepare something. There's knives on this side. It's a reverse blade.
I feel that I should have this closed before you kill me with the sword.
That's a good decision. Oh, God! Don't point sharp things in my
Sorry,
face.
we had a sword fight break.
It's part of the union.
Are we the Three Musketeers now?
Don't cross the streams.
We're touching tips.
See what happens when the Navy guy comes in the room? Start making dick jokes.
The Navy guy comes in, everyone starts touching tips. It's a good little time.
Did you have another story?
I have 3 things here. I have hiding the worst things, stumbling into the Bermuda Triangle of internet porn. And I can't read that because of your handwriting.
His handwriting or my handwriting?
No, that's his.
Coelacanths conquering the Aztec Empire.
Okay, that's what I thought. I don't know how to work the Aztec Empire into it, though, because it's nowhere near the Bermuda.
It was mostly about the coelacanths.
Oh, in the Bermuda
So, you know.
Triangle, it's not like the literal Bermuda Triangle, it's just the Bermuda
Triangle.
Triangle.
So
of
hold
internet
on.
porn.
So for the Bermuda Triangle of internet porn, how does that work? Is that like the best porn site, and when you find it, you can't escape?
Well, no,
Or
because
it's just
because
like
if
it's like
it's
the darkest, deepest you're getting,
Yeah.
you're just gone.
well, I would
So it's on a Tor network somewhere, and it probably involves.
Well, no, what I would do is, seeing here, you've got hiding the worst things. It would just be the cesspool of the internet porn, like Japanese
So it's
tentacle.
4chan.
It is like 4chan. Quicksand.
Uh,
Quicksand porn, tentacle porn, coelacanths fucking the Aztecs to conquer the empire. I mean, that could be porn.
yes.
Everything is porn to somebody.
German Scheisse porn, I mean, stuff like that, which is pretty freaking disgusting. The Brazilians and their
Anyhow,
bestiality.
the discussion of the internet aside,
Yeah, that's true.
I am sorry I asked.
Well, that's the ones I got out of the hat.
This is true. This is my fault.
It is his handwriting.
It is my handwriting.
I mean,
My handwriting is very strange.
well, either you could tie hiding the worst things and being the Bermuda Triangle of internet porn, or you could stumble into the Bermuda Triangle with the coelacanths.
I need one.
Sorry, Patrick.
There is something about coelacanths.
Coelacanths conquering the Aztec Empire by brutally ass raping them.
Oh my,
And that's
they
one
would do
thing.
that with their weird floopy pins.
And that's...
Did you know that coelacanths are more closely related to sharks than they are to fish?
Huh.
Yes. Anyways,
That's your Snapple fact
Distraction.
for the day.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would be one of the worst things you would have to hide. It's like, oh shit, I've stumbled onto this. Hide, hide, hide. Delete the browsing history, get out of there.
Just
That-
nuke the
and you can
computer.
just imagine being sitting there at your computer desk, kind of like Drew's doing now, stumbling onto something like this, and then finding other
What
things.
if the coelacanths conquering the Aztec Empire was the porn on the worst part of the internet?
That's what I'm saying, and that's
Right,
the hiding
okay.
the worst things. You would try to delete that and just sit there in bewilderment,
Coelacanths?
like,
Coelacanths aren't really sexy, though. I mean,
that's why it would be disturbing. That's why you'd want to hide it. That'd be like,
That's why, like,
are the coelacanths like raping Aztec warriors?
Yeah,
Is that what's
they're fucking
happening?
the hell out of the Jaguar Warriors.
Is this what's on Tor networks?
I
Probably.
think
Who
that
knows?
after watching this, you just reached like the end of the internet. Like that's just the last thing that you see.
What that?
Somewhere,
The
somehow,
coelacanths are
furries,
the story.
somewhere,
A little
somehow,
bit of both.
the furries are going to love this anyway, but that's aside from the point.
All right, so did you pick a new one yet?
I did not.
Okay, I've got going back in time to murder your ancestors' enemies, peeing in a cup, aliens invading and landing in the Ukraine, and the state of things after it.
This is
Alright, so obviously the state of things after it relates to going back in time to murder your ancestors' enemies. So aliens invading and landing in the Ukraine makes sense too, because you're clearly a time traveler. All of my viewers are. I don't know why you wouldn't be. I have to assume that all of you are from at least 100 years from now, or else you wouldn't understand whatever this is. But anyhow, so First Contact takes place in 2021, and these aliens that are very, very non-humanoid, basically they're giant bugs with like amoeba faces. And they landed in the Ukraine, but because they were giant bugs with amoeba faces, nobody could understand how to talk to them. So the only thing that would save humanity, because there was a really strange misunderstanding with a large pot of cheese, these aliens who believed that the pot of cheese was like some kind of hooker. I don't know. But anyways, so there was this pot of cheese hooker, right? And it was a very embarrassing incident for humanity in 2021. And you guys from the future had to come back in time to murder those strange bug people, which is why no one else in history has ever heard of it. But the problem is the state of things after it, which is this time travel incident where you, honestly, you morons have gone back and fucked up history that had to do with cheese pots and aliens. The state of things was never worse. The economy got really bad. The aliens didn't share their cure for cancer with us. There was some kind of yogurt thing going on. I don't know. I just made up a story.
You did. I just let you go.
Adam, would you like to go, or do I get to reveal the surprise?
Uh-oh. That's an interesting way to phrase any of those papers. Reveal the surprise. That would be another alternate good name for this show.
Reveal the surprise.
And just be like...
I
kind of caught it.
Mine is poor choices.
In that they're hard. Everything that involves me in a webcam is poor life choices.
I have being psychically raped by a chimpanzee, the ass of a donkey, and a body of evidence.
Oh, I want to hear this one. I'm excited for this.
Oh my.
I don't even know where to start with this.
Alright, well, a body of evidence clearly has to be related to the psychic raping by a lesser simian species. I mean, you were mentally probed by a chimp, dude.
I wasn't. I assumed the ass of the donkey was.
You could be a general term. Are you not the ass of a donkey?
No, I don't think. Am I? What is my existence completely different? Am I just like a donkey, just hallucinating everything?
That would be
No, wasn't that one of our scenarios back when we were at Walmart, that everything in existence was just your crazy brain trying to keep you sane during a strange apocalypse where you repeatedly did an oil change on the exact same car over and over again, but you didn't have any oil?
Yeah, I just kept doing it, and
every day.
And like every time like someone like touched me or something, that was just like a woodpecker pecking at my head, and I just that's how I interpreted it.
I love that story. Like the Penguin War. The Penguin War was one that went on for hours.
Oh God!
Should we just tell that one?
Yes, you should tell the Penguin War.
I want to hear this.
Well, this started out as one of our coworkers had just said that he wanted to go hunting. And then it turned out that he was going to go hunting in every state. And then he was going to hunt penguins because obviously Chris told him that I love penguins, my favorite animal. So he was going to go hunt penguins in every state and like kill them and like send them to me. Like it's just like this like fucked up 7 head in a box thing. And eventually,
penguin, you just keep getting boxes in the mail. Like this UPS guy is really, really weirded out by your house because you keep getting these terrible smelling packages from different states.
With just like blood stains in the bottom.
What do you think he thinks about you? Do you think he's just like this guy keeps ordering liver and haggis online?
Oh,
just livestock, just like butchered livestock. It's okay, my butcher. He sends it in the mail to me.
He's going on a tour of different states to get the best steak.
But I don't know how it made the jump from him going hunting for penguins to it turned out that there's going to be an all-out penguin civil war.
Right, and this was Antarctica, right?
And yeah, it was Antarctica.
The dividing factor was the fact that one side believed in Penguin Jesus, and the other side just saw he was an eyed guy.
They're like, we believe he existed, and he was a nice guy, but he's not our Messiah.
And one of them, like one side used narwhals, and the other side used killer whales. And then one side used Siberian tigers, and the other side used polar bears.
Ooh, that's a good fight.
Right?
That's a good fight.
Right, they're just like mounted on polar bears.
And on Siberian tigers, the largest of the tiger species, that's a good fight. That's
It's a
pretty
good
even.
fight. They have their own navy. The only thing they're lacking is an air force because Antarctica.
And the penguins are flightless birds anyway.
Exactly. Right. Otherwise, they'd be their own air force.
Right. Dropping shit on you.
I mean,
How did that war end? It was just
I
to
don't think it
upset
ever
you.
did end.
It was
It
just
was
to
just made to piss me off, is all it
Well,
was.
clearly, okay, so unlike World War II, during the end of the Penguin War, which, by the way, is why there aren't that many penguin species anymore, there used to be hundreds. The thing is that, and this is also the big reason that Antarctica was frozen over in the first place, is at the end of the Penguin War several million years ago, the penguins, one side had managed to figure out, cold fusion weapons, and the other side had managed to figure out tectonic weapons.
Get it?
So-
Cold fusion.
Shush. I'll hurt you. No, that's where I'm going though.
I see what
So
you're
one side drops a bomb on the tectonic plate near Antarctica to get a tidal wave to wipe out the biggest, most well-defended side of the Penguin Messiah army. But the other side used the cold fusion weapon at the same time, which froze the continent. So you've got this frozen continent that shifts down to a place where nowhere will it actually thaw out, right? So there's no sunlight to warm up the continent. It freezes, and a bunch of the sentient penguin species die out because they just can't do it without their tech. And they've murdered the only continent they were living on, which was idiotic because, you really shouldn't be fighting your enemy with nuclear vessels on. But anyways, so Antarctica shifted down, penguins are all dead, and that's why we don't have flighty penguins anymore.
Flighty penguin.
Flighty penguins.
But back to the Air Force, can't they just? Aren't penguins able? I should know. I love penguins. I, for some reason, don't know. Aren't they able to shoot up in the air out of the water? You go a short
Yeah,
distance.
if you get enough speed going, you can actually break the surface of the water, and the wings they can't fly, but they can glide that few feet. It's like a
It's like
jump.
those mud skippers. They're just kind of
Yeah. So I can imagine they'd be like them kamikazeing into the kamikaze penguins.
All right, so are we gonna keep going with this massive hat, or are we gonna call it here?
I have a surprise.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
Hitler's Academy of the Arts,
Yes.
Auschwitz,
Josh.
which ties in perfectly because I also got acrobatic psychics,
All right.
and touching people makes me nervous. Well, touching people wouldn't make me nervous because, oh my.
Oh.
But I can imagine a psychic who wants to bend things with the mind would not want to be touched, so it would make them nervous.
Fair.
And since they're
Which would also lead to being yoga and acrobatic.
exactly,
Right.
since they're acrobatic,
Okay.
that is a form of the arts, which is why they're at Auschwitz to begin with. It's kind of like the North Korean state programs where they take the best kids and they just put them in these schools for.
And lock them in darkness for 20 years.
Well, yeah, it is Auschwitz. But you've got.
Take this pencil and go. And if you don't come back with masterpiece, I will murder your family.
And for those of you who didn't know, Der Führer Adolf Hitler was actually a pretty decent artist. He was good with architecture. He was denied from the Vienna School of the Arts because they didn't want architecture.
I still swear that was part of the reason he became an evil monster.
It's part of it. He did go into a bout of depression. But at Auschwitz, you have all these different kids. They're taken from all over the Reich, and they're put into these different categories: acrobats, gymnasts, ballet dancers.
Obviously, this school is going to have cliques, right? So
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Because it's Droschwitz, which means that it's going to focus on the visual arts, are the performing arts like a lesser clique? Are these acrobats the lowest end of the totem pole?
The acrobats are the Jews of the groups,
When
which is why
When-
they're trying to get them pushed out of the
So,
academy.
so even as a kid in the arts, obviously they gotta learn stuff too. When they break off into study groups, are they called concentration?
Concentration camps. Yeah, I got
Oh, yeah,
see that. Hell yeah.
Really upsetting puns. That is an amazing pun.
Fantastic. And that's why.
Study groups in Droschwitz are called concentration camps.
And this is why, viewers, why he has been wanting somebody to grab this little This little piece of paper right there.
Hitler's Academy of Shards and Auschwitz.
Not gonna lie, I totally saw it laying face up, and I grabbed it because I knew he wanted
I don't
somebody
blame
to grab
you.
it. I go, okay, and it's even worse because I'm German. The girl I'm dating
Also
is
German.
The girl I'm dating is Jewish. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to elaborate on this more. I'm actually gonna take this and I'm actually gonna start writing something tonight. So,
Do it.
or
That
after I get home
actually, that
tomorrow.
could be an amazing story.
I-
Viewers, important. If you like anything that you see in here and you want it to become a real story, someone here will pick it up and start writing it, and I will post links in the description. And so when you write that, let me know. I'll post it
Oh,
somewhere.
I'll just email it to you or something, or put it to you on Facebook
Will
or
do.
something.
We should probably close with the sea cucumber story.
Go for it.
I'm not gonna say names because
True.
actual person.
There was someone that used to work with us that sort of stopped showing up, and they kept putting him on the schedule for about 3 months. And
That's a lot of no call, no shows.
exactly. We're not even sure why. I think they just didn't want to hire somebody else in our department.
Pretty much, but
Sounds like Walmart.
Go on.
He used to sort of sway back and forth while he was working. And we tried to come up with an explanation for why that happened, and we decided it was because, as they sway back and forth.
We used to say that it was a dance that he was doing.
Right. Yeah, I
It's
can't
amazing.
say
You can't
the
say
name,
the
but
name. Do the
do the blank.
yeah.
Do the blank.
Just sway. Because there were times where we'd be working together, he wouldn't be doing anything. He would just
Yeah, he'd just sort of be swaying back and forth. So we decided that the reason that this happened was because he was raised on a boat.
And why he swayed to kind of level out the waves, so he'd be constantly upright. And then at some point he was knocked overboard, and he lived in the ocean for a while. Lived in the ocean. He befriended a sea cucumber, and he learned their way of life. He became one of them. He became the high priest of the sea cucumber religion that he started. And then when he came back to shore,
And if anybody in the audience doesn't know, sea cucumbers are really upsetting animals.
a little bit.
Especially when they are frightened.
If you don't know what a sea cucumber is, the best way to go is just go to the Frank Show and look up true facts about animals and
Google that shit.
It's a sea pig.
the sea pig.
Sea pig. But so he comes up to the shore and he has a whole religion on the sea cucumber where he teaches people that in order to have salvation they have to learn to be one with the sea cucumber and breathe through their assholes because that's how they breathe. And every year, once a year, in order to emulate the mating of the sea cucumber, they all just I don't know if you know how the sea cucumber mates at all.
No.
They just kind of let it
Let
go.
it
Let it
flow.
go in the ocean and hope for the best.
Both sides of the species.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every year he leads his flock into the ocean, where they all just vigorously jerk off into the ocean and hope for the best.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I don't swim in the ocean. Too
Yeah.
many animals trying to get laid.
Y'all, it's been fun. I hope you liked Flash Fiction. If you did, we'll do it again. See ya.